Hey everybody. Hope we're all having a really great night. About to get started here. Tonight we are painting so my most recent commission is from a phenomenal gentleman, and it is the entire Lord of the Rings Fantasy Flight game plus one of the expansions. Tonight we're going to be painting up all of the goblins. So there's 6 of these little critters, and before we get started, I'm going to go throw on a hoodie. It's getting a little cold in the basement here, and once I do that, we'll be all good to go. So give me one sec. All right, here we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into this. First thing we're going to do is we're going to start off with a base coat of putrid slime. That's one of these. There's one of the D&D army painter collabs that they did, and those small starter sets for miniatures. So I really like it. I need to find the equivalent for when I run out of it, because I love using this stuff, and then a filter with goblin and orc flesh. Grab the old wet palette here. Get that lid out of here. Not gonna need that. Gonna be painting all night. The only other thing we need is a cup of water. Sorry, I was eating tacos before the stream, so I didn't get all my stuff set up the way I normally do. Yeah, there we go. And cool thing is, the guy that gave me this commission, he already Zenithal highlighted all these models. So that's an undercoat of a black or a dark gray, and then from the top down, to represent a light source, white. So when you see that the models are somewhat white and somewhat gray in areas, that is going to help us to identify our shadows and highlights. And all we're going to do is just add a little bit of color there. And he wanted me to do these. He did a really good job on them, but just wasn't interested in finishing up the box set, which I totally understand. Especially if miniature painting isn't your main hobby. Hiring someone to do it is perfectly fine. Alright, this brush has seen better days. We're going to switch over to our better brush here. It's one of those things, like, immediately it starts bothering you, and you're like, no. So we're going to switch over here to my red grass game. I like using this one for base coats. It's got a really good thin point on there. We're just going to lay down a base coat here in all of the little fleshy bits. Oh, I should pull up my chat in case I get any chats here. Ah! Wow, streaming was not designed to do something where you don't have your your computer keyboard in front of you. Hey, Twisted Glamour, thank you so much for joining tonight's stream. I appreciate the watches. I love when people watch. And also, big news, everybody. We are at 49 of 50 Twitch subscribers, and do you know what that means? That means that when we hit 50, I'm going to be doing a colossal dragon. And that's going to be probably one of the biggest models I've ever painted. So I'm very excited. I am still, once I hit 50, I'm ordering it. It's not something that I can 3D print myself. Just my 3D printer just isn't that big. Frankly, even if I broke it up into a million pieces, I just didn't feel comfortable doing it. So the colossal dragon is going to be, right now, the leading vote is for blue. And if no one gives me any more votes, you can send them to me directly at, email them to me. I had a couple people text them to me. A couple people pop them in the chat. I got votes written down on a scrap piece of paper. So if you enjoy Dungeons & Dragons and you want to see a specific colossal dragon get painted, let me know. That's for the Friday night streams that we do all the D&D stuff. But that colossal dragon is going to be definitely done during live Friday streams, and if I don't get it all the way done in 1 or 2 weeks over a couple of streams, I'll record the rest of the painting as if I am streaming and post it up on YouTube. Just because I don't want to do the same project in 2.5 hour increments. Oh, that's a belt. That's fine. Over 3 weeks, that's just a little bit much for me. And here we are, we're just doing the green, and this is a scenario where a little bit of overpainting isn't going to kill anybody. No one really cares, because we're going to be going back through and painting everything else separate. So we're just starting with this big section first, which is going to be the flesh here. Wow, this goblin is absolutely ripped. I'm always amazed how muscular all these miniatures are. So how is everybody's week been going? Everyone had a good week so far? I've had a pretty okay week. Work was a little bit busier than normal, but that's alright because I get to come out here and hang out with you guys while I stream. Editing my next YouTube video. Got all the recording done finally. I had to go back and actually redo parts. If you do anything for YouTube, don't you hate when you have to redo something because you didn't record it the first time? Or in my case, it happens a lot. I try something out to make sure it works, and then I I go ahead and I forget to record it once I get on that roll. Alrighty, we are wrapping up this guy here. We're going to be doing a batch painting tonight. We're going to do all 6 of them in stages. And yeah. Because we need to be able to use a color filter, and we're going to do that in the form of a liquid paint. And we want to make sure we don't rub off our base coat here. And then we're going to be going through and getting a bunch of highlights and highlights added in, and then move on to the rest of the model. His face done here, a little chrome dome. Try not to fill in the eyes here. Last thing we want to do is clog up his eyes. When we go back through, we're actually going to be using, and it's really common, I do this a lot, I use the base coat, whoops, the base layer, the base color that we're laying down here, we're going to be using that for our highlights, or our more generic highlights. And we'll use a secondary color for any extreme highlights we have. We probably won't have any on his flesh here, but there we go. Almost done. Get behind your ears. You gotta scrub behind the ears. If you don't scrub behind your ears, your goblin grandma is going to come at you. Grandma, no! There we go. All the green done. That is already looking pretty good. Eat some paint, wash off your brush, see the spot that you missed, and then go paint that. Boop, 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 boop. Steps for miniature painting. Boom, and then we set that one off to the side. Let's see if we can get that, yeah. Then we go on to the next one. And then we just do this. So given the things that I'm going to get done, I believe tonight's stream is going to be a little bit longer than normal, so if you want to just tab me out, chill, do your own thing, you do that, because there's only so many times I'm going to be able to say the same thing over and over again when it comes to painting these goblins' flesh. Make sure to keep our brush nice and moist. You want a damp brush for this, just because you don't want to ruin your bristles, all that. Help the paint flow a little bit smoother too. I looked at a bunch of Lord of the Rings concept art, checked out a bunch of other people's work that had painted these, and I was a little bit nervous because I was like, oh man, were the goblins green in there? When I was planning out for what I wanted to do on these. And yeah, actually, these are closer to the Mines of Moria. Oh jeez, I just watched that whole movie extended cut like yesterday. It's all about the Mines of Moria. It's a little too thin. Throw your brush. Always make sure to throw your brush as much as possible. You got to keep it aware of who the boss is. And what we actually are looking for is a little bit more variation in our color here. On the Dominion boxed orcs that I first started doing this on earlier this week with the color filtering and such, my base coat really didn't want to go on well because I started from a solid black rather than any kind of zenithal prime. And when I finished up, it was actually really great because all the variation just looks like motley flesh or moltily flesh. All those different intonations. Because I don't know if you knew this, little known fact, the goblins are traditionally not great at using skincare products. And it isn't because they don't want to. They just don't have access to them. Underground, you don't have a lot of, you know, phenomenal evening or morning creams. They don't have any set-in conditioners. They have no foundation. They just kind of roll with it. It's a shame. Goblin skin. Is that a vambrace? No. Looks like there's a couple of mold lines on here, but that's okay. For the goblins, I'm not as concerned about it. On the rest of them, it will require repriming the model, but I will fix those on those. But we're already rolling here on these. I might only do 3 of them tonight. I didn't notice that before. I want to make sure to do as good of a job as possible, because again, the gentleman was really, really nice. There we go. 2 done. Look how fast that is, guys. Are these all 6 the same sculpt? I just realized that. Oh, jeez. All 6 of them are identical. What? Who's texting me at this hour? It's not that late. Oh, hilariously, it's my Dungeons and Dragons group. They are texting about Dungeons and Dragons Warlocks. I learned recently that Warlocks get the number of spell slots that they do, and that's just bullshit. They should get more than that. Again, that's the same belt. You'd think that after painting it multiple times, I would not do the same exact thing. I'm gonna paint that belt on all 6 of these, I think, or that strap. Brush gets a little bit dirty. There we go. Much better. So for everybody that's watching tonight, I may be moving my Tuesday streams to Wednesday. Frankly, due to viewership, there's a local group of guys that were watching my stream last week on Friday, and I had a lot of fun having more than like 2 or 3 people watching. But they all do a group thing on Tuesdays. So I think I'm going to actually switch my stream to Wednesdays so I can watch and participate in theirs. I think they just go live through Discord and they hang out and talk and stuff. I might switch to doing that on Tuesdays and then have my stream on Wednesdays so that I can join with them as well as have them watch me the next day. Because as it stands, I think my viewership is still about the same as it's always been. 2 or 3, and I don't expect that to get too much higher. I mean, I'm painting models here, but it'd be really cool to join those guys and all of that. Sorry, here we go. Get that in there. Good deal. What's this? My thing went boop. Big Daddy is now following. Thank you, Big Daddy. I really appreciate that. It's phenomenal to have another following. At this rate, I'm going to be buying a Colossal Dragon tomorrow. So, jeez. My follower tab is gone berserk. It says 23 now. I thought it said 46 before. Alright, everybody. We're still halfway to the Colossal Dragon. Still blue, so send me your votes. It's absolutely phenomenal to have you here, sir. We're just laying down some base coats on these goblins for my latest commission. A bunch of Lord of the Rings stuff. We're laying down a base coat of green, and then we're going to filter it in with some the translucent color. Where's this? Yeah, I was really excited when I got this commission. I'm a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. And I used it as an excuse to, I'm watching all of the extended cuts again. Just because I absolutely adore those. My reading queue is currently full, otherwise I'd probably at least listen to some of the books again. But they're a little bit dry, and that's a pretty big time commitment. We got a bunch of other stuff I'm reading. But yeah, we are painting up some Gerblins. And this right here is actually what we're going for a little bit more so than the nice smooth skin tones. We're looking for a little bit more mudlists. Extended box set. Oh yeah. You gotta get the extended version. I for the longest time I'd never watched the extended versions of those movies, and then I did for the first time. I was like, I squealed like a little girl several times, or a big girl, or a big boy. I screamed like a big boy. So, it's fine. Whatever. We'll just we're gonna be repainting over that anyway. Yeah, no, I absolutely love them. Do you have a favorite movie out of the three? Mine used to be The Two Towers, just because I was a teenage boy and fight scenes are fight scenes. It's fine. But now I'm kind of feeling the third. Oh man, it's so hard. I just almost said all three movies again. I love them all. Alrighty, there is that all done. Good deal. 3 down. Keep these in order. It's not on Blu-ray. I never bought the DVDs, or I probably did actually. I used to have them on DVD, but I have them all on Amazon Prime, which is really cool because you can do the integrated X-ray feature, and from there you can get it overlays in all of like commentaries, faux pas, mistakes, background information, so you get to see all about Vigo's super commitment to the sword. Obviously, the one everyone knows about, like when he broke his foot, things like that. Even set design. Speaking of miniatures, the bigatures in Lord of the Rings are part of what actually got me to start making dioramas and stuff. After seeing the process of making all of the miniature scenes, and for the wide shots, those wide shots like on Minas Tirith, where you see the armies out on the ground, as well as the wide views of the city, those were all filmed using a bigature version of the city itself. And a bigature is, think a scale model, just at a very not big scale. Same with the Eye of Sauron tower, the second of the Black Towers. That is also done using a bigature. I think the actual thing was 12 feet tall, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, Two Towers. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the more fast-paced of all three of the movies, and like a lot of stuff happens, and you get a lot of really good backstory as well. Black story, no, you get a lot of good backstory. Oh, one of the worst scenes in the Return of the King that I saw when I got the extended cut was the one of the openers of one of the storylines, which was Gandalf. They're talking to Saruman and Grima Wormtongue, and that fireball, unedited, unpolished. Oh my god, it's adorable. It looks like something from a film school project, because they never put the budget in to finish getting the effects down. But also, like, there is also that low fantasy element, and that really didn't fit into it as much. The low fantasy and soft magic system of Lord of the Rings is definitely low magic, high fantasy, I guess. But still, it's so great to see that. I'm like, oh, that looks so bad. I love Harry Potter. I used to read the books all the time growing up. I used to get grounded a lot as a kid for not just for being a piece of shit and all kinds of other stuff, and bad grades, things like that. I did pretty well, all things considered, but I got grounded a lot. And the one thing I could do, and one thing I still love doing as an adult, is reading. Like this year, I read, what am I at? Am I like 30 books so far this year? I love reading, and those were always right there in my queue, or I'd read them while I was eating breakfast, and I'd reread them, and it would drive my dad insane. He's like, you just read those books. Are you reading them again? I was like, yeah. He's like, why don't you read different books? I'm like, yeah, I'll read this. I'll read this one again. University in Florida? Oh man, I've always wanted to go there. And Universal Studios is actually, since I work for Comcast Business, I can go to some, I think that's one of the ones that we can go to for free. We can get tickets too. Yeah, we get free Universal tickets. I work for Comcast Business though, so nothing residential. So I do business with something like Taco Bell, not with like people in their houses, their home internet. So before anyone asks, don't ask for help on that. I can't help you. But yeah, I would love to go there someday. One of my next book nook. I think the next book nook I'm gonna do is a Ollivander's wand shop or something like that. Create a tiny little one of those. Okay, cool. 4th done. Yeah, the Harry Potter, the experience is supposed to be absolutely killer. Such a killer place to go. Did you get your own wand or anything? I think that's something you can do. You can go and do like a wand selection, maybe? You're stuck in buffer. Thank you for the heads up. Oh gosh. See, I have really good internet. I pull good speeds. Just this hot nonsense. YouTube says it has an excellent connection, but it's lying. Oh, there it goes. Was that live? Well, okay, yeah, there we go. We're back. That's really weird. What's going on with my internet? The router says it's good, and the router's pulling good, so looks like we should be good now. Oh, you're back? I'm back because that was so bad. Thank you for the call out. Oh, so I was asking, did you get a wand or anything when you were at Universal? Do they have any fun experience type things that you can do there? We're only gonna do 5 of these tonight. Gonna leave the 6th one. I'm gonna do something special with. I'll make him like a commander or something. So this one, forget about it. It's out of here. We're only gonna do 5. Gotta keep a damp brush, guys. The kids got the wands. I guess, yeah, if you have kids and you go there, spending whatever amount, probably egregious amount that you have to spend on a lot of this stuff, doing it for yourself as an adult on top of that doesn't seem like super fun. Yeah. Is it personalized and they got to do the whole like stuff flying around the room, or is it just like, hey, here's your wand, give me $60? Every year I get those free tickets to go to Universal, and every year I don't, because I live up here in Ohio and it's quite a commitment of a drive. Okay, I need to do that this year. But I love Harry Potter because it's actually part of the reason why I'm such a huge fantasy nerd and why I love books so much. My mom is an avid reader, always has been, and she used to read those to me before I could actually read for myself. And I used to remember getting frustrated because I couldn't read, but I wanted to know what happened next. And if she was too busy with work or out of town or something, I couldn't. My dad's not a big reader, and I was always too scared to ask him to read to me. Something like that. Oh, that's right. They do the park interaction stuff, like Magi Quest down in like Tennessee and stuff. And you can interact with stuff all over the place. I did read something about that. That's really cool. $60 isn't so bad, considering that's something they're gonna have for a really long time and always love and enjoy. Sorry, I'm fighting with my paint consistency here. Yeah, buying 3 of them are that is a lot. Totally worth though for kids. I bet they had a blast with them. So when you go to the Harry Potter park, do you get access to all of the park, or is it just like a whole separate thing? And also, I'm still waiting for my Hogwarts letter. I don't know what's taking them so long. Like that, it's time for me to go to Hogwarts. Get out of that day job. Go learn some magic. Keep being like ultra careful, but like we're gonna be repainting everything over him, or around the green parts too. So there's no real point to being ultra careful here, unless it's something we're gonna use a contrast paint on, but that's still fine. Alright, we're almost done with this, and we'll pick out a color to do our filtering through. And I say filtering, I mentioned that a lot on my channel, and for anyone that's new, what we do is after you lay down a color, what you're going to do is, when I say filtering, it's adding a transparent layer on top, or a filter, to add variation and depth to the model and the colors that we're seeing. So things like, let's get in close here. Well, let's grab a dry one. So we're looking at stuff in filtering. You can see here things like the edge of this muscle here. Obviously the top part is going to be a little bit lighter and the bottom is going to be lower with a little bit of a shadow. So same thing with the issues around the face here. When we add in our color and our filter, it will help to establish a stronger contrast between the two. And that's all we do with major painting. We throw paint down and then we make lights look light and darks look dark, and we add a contrast to it. So this is our first one, and part of the Universal story. There are 2 Harry Potter parks, 1 in Universal Islands of Adventure and 1 in Universal Studios. God, I forget what my tickets I get every year for. I'll have to ask somebody that went this year. Alright, so we don't need our palette for the next part. But it sounds like an amazing trip, man. Like, I get tickets every year, and I need to convince my wife to go with me. It's cute when you're a couple, it's cute when you have kids, but just like a single dude going to Harry Potter World by himself and geeking out like a kid, I just, like, it's not bad. It just makes me uncomfortable. But then again, I'm a super introvert person. Hogsmeade Village is in the Islands of Adventure, and Diagon Alley is in Universal Studios. Ooh, Hogsmeade. I would go to a bar named Hogsmeade. Alright, Restream. You're killing me, Smalls. What you doing? I will 100% check out your Instagram, Big Daddy. Are you on the Spuddies Discord? Or are you a Twitch person? I don't know how to look at people's shit from here. I click this, and I can add you as a friend on here. Do I want to do that? Drink butterbeer? I would drink butterbeer in a heartbeat. I just want to see his thing. I don't want to block you. No. The only person talking. Oh, jeez. Trying to find your Instagram. Ah. Send me your Instagram. I will, I'll check it out. You're a mod in Spuddies. Okay, excellent. Okay, cool. That makes you easier to find here. I'll find it here. And it's Big Daddy, I assume. Oh, there we go. I missed a hyperlink. That's my bad, everybody. We're all good. checking out Big Daddy's Instagram page because I heard there was butterbeer and yeah. Oh man, that place is so cool. I want to go there. Yeah, you're all just gonna have to watch me react to this stuff. I want to do all of these things. Okay, I'll look at this more later. That's really cool. I found it finally. Alright, so we're going to do a couple different skin cones here. We're going to do a few in the contrast paint, plague, bear flesh, and we're going to do a couple others in the orc flesh is going to be a little dark, especially with the light undercoat. We'll see. Let's see how dark this comes out first. And we're going to use a less good brush because we don't want that paint to seep all the way down into our ferrule and ruin our brushes. So we're going to set this up in a way that it won't knock over because I'm too cheap to buy, well, I'm not too cheap to buy hundreds of dollars worth of models, but apparently I'm too cheap to spend the time to 3D print a little stand holder for models. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to slap this on a big thick layer like that. And we're going to watch this liquid talent put a lot of our contrast into our model for us. Just like so. Spreading it around. And so like when everyone says like how I feel about contrast paints is I think they are not, it's a special brand of paint by Games Workshop. It is not a replacement for all of the painting techniques that you can and will use. However, contrast paints are a phenomenal additional tool that you can use. Because they allow us to do things like this, to filter all of these down in there. Really bring out our depth. Also, why are these goblins so fucking ripped? Like, every model is either grotesquely fat or absolutely shredded. Like, to an obscene level. There we go, cool. Yeah, posting stuff on Instagram, I gotta be honest, I'm like a month behind on taking pictures because I use like a photo booth and everything of stuff that I've painted here, either live on stream or, I missed his eyes, or just personally for private. Like getting stuff up to Instagram seems like it should be easy, but unless you're just like taking selfies and posting them, it is not super easy. And there we go, we've added a little bit of depth to our model here. Added in shadows. We're going to do that to the other 4 here. And then we'll pick out the next thing we're going to do. Oops. Making sure to reabsorb some of it if it gets a little bit too in there. You can see even places like this, like those abs that I didn't hit with the base coat, that's alright. So I like using something like this. Yeah, and for this commission, actually, it was hilarious. Like I'm looking at the models that he's painted, and I'm like, oh wow, those are really good. Why is he having me do them? And it was so great. He was just like, I just wasn't interested in painting them. And I was like, yeah, man, I need the business. I need with everything in the quarantine and stuff. Commission painting has been a slow business. Everyone has time to go and do their own thing. No one's been hitting me up at good enough painting, but I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm happy that people are able to find this time to do their own stuff. But it was a terrible time to launch a charity commission painting business. And I say both of those because I do stuff for veterans and those with disabilities, and even I think I have tons of discounts. Like I gave one guy a discount just because he worked 2 jobs and he didn't really have time to paint his own models. I was like, yeah, give me those, whatever. So when I put on my website, like, let me know what price you have if you need to. I will do it up into almost free. Like I've done a couple free projects already this year just because I was bored. Oh, and thank you. Really glad that you joined, and I appreciate the support. They are looking really, really great. I'm very happy with this just randomly, I decided to do a study in skin color on green flesh, and I'll pull it up on my phone here. It's so simple, that putrid flesh base color, and then the other thing. What am I talking about? The putrid flesh, and then shading them with. I don't know how well this is gonna actually show up. Ugh. Unplug the phone. Okay, so yeah, this is actually, so all of these are the same base coat in that putrid flesh, but like just using a different filter, like we always talk about filtering, we get all those different variations. So like it's just such a simple thing that I never thought of it. And yeah, it's so funny that my next commission was like, hey, there's goblins in it. And you're such a great person for it. I really appreciate that, but it's one of those things where I feel a little bit selfish because I am taking money. If it was up to me, everything would be 100% free, but then I would have no free time. My wife would leave me. My dog, she'd take the dog, and then like my cat would get sick of hanging out with me. So I do free projects as much as I can, but I mean, like the main thing I do for the commission painting is I don't offer super high level stuff that's going to take up a bunch of my time. I do mostly either just 2 levels of painting. Stuff like this is going to be level 2. Honestly, it's a secret. It's a secret, but don't tell anyone. I do all of my painting at the same level, and the level 1 pricing is just in case someone wants to pay less. But yeah, so I don't offer anything crazy. And then for videos, and I just post them up on YouTube so that people can see them. And just because, like, half the time, people are so scared that their stuff isn't good. And I'm like, do you think my stuff's good? Come hang out. Watch me live on the stream. And you can see exactly how easy it is to get stuff to look. Everyone, say it with me. Good enough. There's a huge market for something like miniature painting on Twitch, though. Video buffer again? Well, let's see if mine's doing the same thing again. No, it's not doing the same thing again. Well, the first time you said that, I popped in and my video was frozen. So, it's odd. I have trouble watching Twitch from my phone, too. Just because I don't know. I have a good phone. Like, I got the Pixel and everything, but... Alright. Sir. Come on, buddy. This guy's killing me. So this right here is a very common occurrence when you're using a thin paint like this, is that eye just got super clogged. So we're just going to take our brush, dry it up a little bit, and soak up a little bit of these pools. Don't want anything crazy. And that, like that. Alright, there we go. Make sure to get all this coverage here. Alright. Aces Magoo. I'm a goblin. I'm ready for you. Oh no, there's one more. Oh, I did the voice because I thought I was done. No, guys, there's one more. So I don't know anything about the game that this is associated with. I watched some people play it online, and it looked pretty fun. The single player. So I hate that I say this, but the first thing I always look at for any board game is how well it plays in single player mode. Because I don't have I have a work schedule that's not super great. I work like Sunday, Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays from 11 a.m. until 9:30 p.m. It's just the shift that I work in the office. So like gaming groups and stuff is a little bit harder for me. No big deal. And plus I'm such a homebody, I'm not super concerned. But I always look at the single player because like no gaming store is open at 3 in the morning for me to go play games with somebody. And it just the single player didn't look as fun. Or if it had one, it was someone's variation. I forget which one that was. But it just wasn't. It didn't appeal to me. But I love that they have like those expansions and stuff for this game. All right, cool. Get your just flabbergasting 6-pack and your super shredded arms in there too. All right, good guy. You are done. So one. Oh, I fucking love video games. I play tons of video games. I've never streamed any of them though. Not. I hadn't thought about doing that yet. Just because. I mean, I'm like. I know some people say that they're bad at video games, and then there's me. I'm so bad at video games. I am great at video games that you can slowly progress and get better at, but like, I kind of suck at a lot of games. I play a lot of Destiny 2. I play a lot of Destiny 2. Absolutely love it. Anything that has a good PvE, so player versus enemy environments, I will absolutely slay to death. I love it. The moment you drop me against other people, it's like I'm started to play left-handed. I just am so bad. But I do love video games. I just don't stream them yet. I don't. Maybe I might consider it. I have a good enough computer. I have a couple games that people like. But like, I really wanted to stream Dark Alliance, but the game is almost unplayable. It's so bad. So it's just me geeking out over it. I have caught your stream before, if I'm not mistaken here. No, I haven't. No. I try and keep up on as many of this buddy's streams as possible, but I only have 2 accounts to watch from. So I will definitely have to try and watch yours in the future because I love, like, Spuddies is like such an amazing concept. I've been doing this for months and I almost quit. And then I found that in the channel, and because Copper Top, my buddy Cameron in real life, he was like, hey, and just so everyone's aware, we are waiting for something to dry. So we're going to chat for a minute here. He said, check this out. And I checked it out, and I was like, this is everything that I am about as a person. Just a community of people coming together, supporting each other, and just a level of positivity that I find has been void in a lot of our social settings, especially when it comes to media and internet interaction groups. Like, it's just, there's this giant gaping hole where things go to be supportive. So especially even when it comes to something as fringe as like miniature painting, it's not something that you can usually find super supportive groups in. Because there's always those people that ruin things. So finding this streamer support thing, and this community of people that are just genuinely supporting each other with a level of positivity that is not there is in most other groups is just amazing. What? I'm getting a text message at this hour. It's not that late. What is my PS4 handle? I have been playing with a lot of D2. Oh, this is actually the guy we're doing the commission for. So I play on Steam, and my Steam name is going to be Zaodius. D-I-U-S. So hilariously, Zaodius is what I use for literally everything. So if you have a video game and you find me in Zaodius, that is 100% me. It's a word I made up. And I use it for everything. I make a joke all the time that if I try and play a game and I try to get the username Zaodius and it's taken, that means I've already played the game and I hated it and stopped playing it. Or somebody's taken my name, in which case I will not play. So I don't know if there's crossplay, but Greg, if you're watching now, it is Zaodius spelled Z-A-O-D. I'm just going to text you back. And try and add me that way. If that doesn't work, I'm real sorry. I don't play on PS4. I only play games on Steam right now because my wife is always using our Xbox to either watch YouTube or play her own games. All right, so these should be good. We're going to pick out the next thing that we want to paint. I usually like to paint things from the inside out, as in I paint things that are the farthest down into the model and therefore the most difficult to get a brush to, and then I move outwards from there. And looking at this, there isn't really anything else that's going to be difficult. So we're going to go ahead and we'll paint on his wrist straps on these. There's no crossplay yet. Oh, the crossplay is between people that play in controllers versus on PC versus mouse and keyboard. Apparently controller is supposed to be better with the aim assist. But Yeah, no, man. What if they ever do enable crossplay? Hit me up. I play a shit ton of Gambit. Absolutely decimate that. I'm currently, let's see, my gear level is 13, 12, or whatever, and then you add your light level on top of that. But lots of fun. I have paint. This is a color we might use. This is we're gonna need to go to off white. Oh, this one's over here. Okay, cool. We're gonna paint some straps. No, get out of here. I don't need you. I need you. No. This. Mummy robes. Okay. So we got mummy robes, off-white, and skeletal bone. We'll start with the mummy robes. See how that looks. I'll have to add you. So streaming from an Xbox, is that difficult? Is that something difficult to do? Big Daddy? You say you play mostly on Xbox, but I know that you're a streamer. And sorry to anybody watching this on YouTube. There's a Twitch chat that pops up. Oh, you can see it. It's right there on the side. So I'm not just talking nonsense. Okay, so here's our mummy robes. We're gonna add a little bit of off-white in case we need to mix something in to our palette, and then for our darker tone, we're gonna use skeletal bone. And we'll just start with this, and we'll get some of the wrist straps done. I'm gonna pull up my reference photo at this point because I knew what I wanted to do for the flesh, but I didn't think farther ahead than that. This is actually a terrible photo. It's so bad. How do you tell it? Okay. Those aren't even the guys I'm painting. It's fine. It's fine. We're just gonna move on. I know what I want to do here. We're gonna do some wrists. We're gonna do all the cloth and the braids on the belt here, things like that. We'll do the boots in a brown, and then we'll move on from there. So we're gonna start with our just a light tone here, and just go through here, and we're gonna be careful. Now we have to be careful that we have green stuff around us, but we can patch anything up if we need to. We're gonna paint the tap in this lighter color. This is mummy robes. Just being careful. So when it comes to miniature painting, the one thing I can say is don't, like, everyone's always talking about pushing their limits and all this other stuff and techniques to learn. Like things like non-metallic metal, so making things look like metal without using metal paints that have the mica flakes that are actually metallic in them. The one thing you can learn is just brush control, man. Like the ability to put a brush exactly where you want to put a brush and put paint down exactly where you want to put paint. Everything else after that is just techniques and application and color and paint knowledge. I think that's genuinely it. Like everything after that's gravy once you learn how to properly apply paint. And that's something that luckily, even with my super shiki hands on my worst days, I still managed to do very well. There we go. And now that we're getting in here into the details, there's a couple spots, you'll notice. Big Daddy, thank you so very much for hanging out with me today. You can add me on Steam, send me a direct message in Discord if my Steam isn't linked or you can't find me. Absolute fucking delight having you. Thank you so much. Alright, so There we go. We're just going to touch up a couple areas that we missed a little bit with our plague bearers. Oh yeah, this commission. He even had like a bunch of paints and stuff, which he lent me. So he had most thing that I was the most excited about was he had a bunch of contrast paints that I hadn't gotten around to trying yet. So if you see me pull any of these out that have the blue poster attack on top, super fun. Super glad that he gave me those because they've been awesome to try out. But we'll keep that because like contrast paints are not something I normally would buy, but or like I know exactly what I want to use with them. So it's nice just to have them just to try them out. Okay. Just keeping a nice tip on our brush here. And then we'll start adding in a couple other colors. We'll start adding in some colors here. Mix in a little bit of the mummy robe in with the skeletal brown. Create a slightly darker color here. And we're going to use that on the darker sections of this right here, like that. Right down there. So this is why we use a zenithal highlight. We're going to see the portions that are darker versus the portions that should be lighter. And again, making sure we're also going through and correcting any areas that we saw that we missed with our contrast wash. So things like right under here. Looks like I messed up a little bit up there. Boom, like that. Which is why it's important, like, you can try and be as precise as you can 100% of the time, or you can just keep the other paints like right there and just keep painting. I catch myself missing spots all the time. Alright. Oh wow, today my hands are just not having it. It's okay. We're gonna move on here. There we go. Is that pulling both of my chats? What's happening? Oh no, come on, computer. No, please do not open up the stream. That is the last thing I need. Is to hear my own voice as we play. There we go. Okay. Alright. Go, we got our highlight color here. Boom. Cool. Now that we have painted those, I'm gonna wait for them to dry a little bit, and then we'll give them a washi-dashi. I'm gonna grab. I'm not gonna grab that top section because I'm gonna do the brown leather first, and then I'll do that. So for the brown leather, and I think I'll just do that next. Looks like we have some like straps and stuff that go across his body, his kilt, his boots, all of that. There's a lot of leather in this model. We're gonna grab a couple of different browns: monster brown, oak brown, and game color terra earth. And we're gonna shove these over to the side. Oh, come on, paint. All right. Sucks. They should have crossplay for more games. The only game that I know of that really does good crossplay is like Final Fantasy 14, and like I had to I had to unsub from that game because it was killing my life. Okay, so we're going to start with the oak brown. We're going to paint in some shadows on the kilt as well as the straps in their entirety. So, boop, oak brown. Getting just the tip of our brush. We missed the spot right in between here. Oh, make sure to keep a good tip. Get out of Moria. There we go. Almost got. Ah! Broken pinkies and super arthritis hands is not making this easy today. Jesus, come on, guys. Because normally I like to hold like this when I'm doing some detailed stuff, but I have pinkies that I broke many, many years ago that just don't. Never healed right. So, like, I have real bad arthritis in parts of my hand as well. And sometimes my hands are just not cooperative at all. It's like I picked the worst hobby too. Oh yes, the music. I forgot to mention that. I just heard a song change. I had to change up the music that I use. My last couple of YouTube videos got copyright claimed, even though the music that I had been playing was a Spotify playlist called Copyright Free Music. So I grabbed trying out different ones and trying to see if I get that claim again. And if I don't, I'll probably just stick with whatever I don't get the claim on. Because that I'm not monetized or anything. I'm not making money off of YouTube or Twitch or anything. Right now it's just, well, Twitch, I actually don't think I can get money off of Twitch yet or YouTube. But no plans to monetize the YouTube channel yet. But when I do, I want to make sure that all my videos are doing it. So the music's going to change every stream or so till I get that sorted out. Till I get one that doesn't have issues. Alright, cool. With the same dark brown, we're going to go ahead and we're going to paint in some of the darker areas of this model on the robe here. On the kilt. I'm a Scottish. I don't think that's Scottish. We're just going to kind of add some dark areas here. Like so. Okay. Found another little area here. That should be green, maybe? No, that shouldn't be green. So hard to tell sometimes with some of these sculpts. So we're ready to start our highlights. Not quite. Close though. I just want to make sure the paint's nice and dry before I do any of that. All right, cool. So we're gonna grab some Monster Brown. Another, if you watch any of my stuff, I love Monster Brown. It's such a good, solid mid-tone brown. I'll go ahead and throw some Monster Brown on our palette here, and go in for it. Oh, where are we at with stream time? 1 hour in. Okay, cool. So we're making good time on these. I estimated about 2 hours a model, and we're at 2 hours, and we're at an hour, and we did about, what do you call it? The base coat on all of these, and then this guy so far. Yeah, so we're perfectly on par with what I quoted this off, assuming. Which, actually, looking at my pricing structure, is I think it's best if I don't think about it hourly. That's not the point of what I'm doing it. Just doing enough so that I get to help some people paint some models. Because whenever people talk to me about pricing and stuff, they're always like, I'm not paying you enough, it's not enough. And I'm like, man, or like I talked to my dad about it. He's like, well, how much are you making per hour when you do that? Because he was a personal trainer, so he's owned his own business for like my whole life. I'm like, man, just, it's not like that. This is never going to be a job for me. This is just the chance to get to help some people paint their models and get paid a little bit, so I don't have to pay and always buy my own models. As I think it comes down to, like, these guys would be like $2 each. So paying myself like $1 an hour there. But that's why we don't do a lot of jobs. Alright, so we're getting there. Go ahead and grab this while we're here too. Alrighty. How exciting is that? We are coming together. So if I get this question a lot, I don't leave my thing more zoomed in because I switch where I'm actually painting a lot. So here we go. This is where we currently stand. Getting there, getting there, getting there. I think we're gonna do something a little bit different on the boots here. Oh, need to get the straps here with the Monster Brown here. Check my cheat sheet. Yeah, I wanted to do orange boots. Not orange, but Gorgruntas. Okay. Alrighty, we got, there we go, Gorgrunta fur. Just another contrast paint. Sorry, I try to remember to shake up all my paints before stream, but you guys are gonna have to hear that clicking, sorry. Hopefully, oh wait, I can just mute the mic, duh. Happens to the best of us, right? Alrighty. Alright, how's that? Oh, one of my wife's hairs. Alright, Gorgrunta fur. Which is actually what spilled on my mat, that's why it's slightly orange. Where is the small brush here? I had a really nice... It's perfect for this stuff. Where did it go? Okay. Aha! I found you. The brush that I use for contrast paints. It's super tiny. Actually, no, this is not the normal brush, but this brush will do. This is one of the brushes that I bought when I made the mistake of thinking, since I'm painting small things, I need small brushes with small bristles. And I got this, and then immediately ruined it because the paint immediately obviously went straight into the ferrule and it just starts splitting and stuff. So that's okay. You live and learn. We're gonna use this on here like this. Although actually now I'm thinking about it, since the top's gonna be a different color, we don't have to use a super tiny brush. We can just use this brush. Duh. Because we don't have to worry so much about precision because we got the top there that we'll repaint, and then the bottom is the bottom, so the boots. So there we go. Contrast paints, one thick coat, and we'll get these nice boots. Bring this down a little bit. Yeah. These are bugging me. So I just wear my glasses. It's a very mild prescription. They're just mostly supposed to help with eye strain, but sometimes they begin to bother me after a while I'm painting. So ditch those. Pro tip, unless your eyes literally are screaming in agony, you don't really need your glasses. Fun fact, right? Alright, cool. Bada bing, bada boom, we got boots. You gonna focus on the model here? Look at it, it's so cool though. I'll be out here, camera. There we go. Getting there, getting there, getting there, getting there. Alrighty. Want that to be a little bit lighter and stand out a little bit more. Alrighty, so what is next? We need to do the trim on his boots, his little weapon there, and finish up some of the highlights and shading on the leather bits. So we'll start with the trim of his boots. We're gonna do those in a nice white. Don't worry, we're not gonna keep it white, but we just need to do white on the tips, on the tops of all of the little bumps in this fur. And sorry, this is off-white. we're going to do just this off-white on the center sections of a lot of the bumps here in this fur. And we're just making sure that anywhere where we overpainted our green goes away too. And with this off-white, we're also going to add a little bit of off-white to the top of the bracers here. And we will be doing just an edge highlight here along this one. And painting a little bit up here on the top. Stippling on just a little bit of white. And finish our edge highlight. There's that done. Now, we're going to use a paint that requires a well. There is some dark tone and some strong tone by Army Painter. Rah! Where's my strong tone? That's the dark one. Where's the strong tone? There's. Okay, so dark tone. And strong tone. So using the strong tone, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna wash these just to give them a little bit of a different color so that they're not white. And allow the semi-thin nature of this paint to kind of, harness the capillary effect and seep into these details and bring them out. Bring us a little bit more, say it with me, contrast to the model. Yeah, there we go, see? And on this one, since it's such a wide flat area, we're just going to be careful. Only going to do it on the bottom section and down here where a shadow would start. Getting there. Nice. Nicely done. Alrighty, try the dark tone here. And we're just going to kind of approaching done with this model. Just got a couple more things to do. Can't drink of water here. Pretty good. Good stuff, good stuff. And we're gonna get a little bit of caffeine in us. We got some tea here. Because my goal is to get all 5 of these guys done tonight. So we're looking at 6 hours or so. So I've got quite a long time ahead of me. I got about another 4 or 5 hours of painting to do tonight. Yeah, probably 4. I paint a lot faster when I'm not narrating and talking on stream. So we have this little satchel, and for that I'm going to use snakebite leather. I think the song that's playing right now is not royalty free. It's kind of frustrating. We're gonna change up the playlist for one that somebody on Discord recommended to me. It's a little bit more rock music-y than I normally listen to, but geez, come on, guys. You're killing me with that. I might just kill the music in my streams if this keeps up or something. I don't know. Okay. Because that was for you, an arrow chord, I believe. So an arrow chord has definitely got copyrights on their music, royalties. It's all good though. Okay, so for the belt, we're going to use some snakebite leather. Contrast paint by GW. Did I unmute my mic? Yeah, okay. It's a little bit much. There we go. Now we have his little satchel done too. And while we're here, we might as well do, no, I wanted to use wildwood on his staff here. On the shaft of the spear. Where did I put the wildwood? There it is. My desk is usually pretty clean, and it is pretty clean, especially when you compare it to a lot of people that paint models, but still can't find anything. Okay, nice damp brush. Grab a little bit of this. And we'll start over here just to see what the consistency of our paint's doing. Okay, good deal. There we go. And now we have a good variation in color between all the things in our model. Guys, it's the 11:30 p.m. alarm. It's time to wake up from our afternoon nap. Ugh. Ugh. So that's done. Good deal, good deal, good deal. Okay. Now we're going to take, flip this around. See how we're looking. We're looking pretty good. We are looking pretty good. And we're gonna grab this in here. I missed that little part. That's fine. Oh shit. It's fine, it's fine. Okay. Oh. Okay. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? Alright, we're looking pretty good. I'm really digging the look of the kilt as is. I don't want to make it too crazy, so we're not going to do too much more. We're just going to add a dark wash to it here. Strong tone. We don't want the eyes going to the kilt. We want the eyes going to elsewhere in the model. So we want to make sure that it's not too crazy. So we're just going to add a wash there. Moving our brush perpendicular to lines. Alrighty, it looks like we missed the side there. Good deal. Good deal. All right. Next, what we have up that we're going to do. Sorry, as I start to get more and more into projects, I usually start to trail off in my talking. I need to get better about that. We're going to do his metal bits, and that should be the last thing that we need to get done. Are there sculpted eyes on this model? It looks like it, so yeah, we'll need to pick an eye color and do that. One of the things I do, and I should probably advertise better when I'm talking about my services, is if there's not sculpted face details, I won't freehand that stuff in. It's just throw my brush around and then paint all over myself. Jeez. It's just something I don't do. It never looks good, and I'm never happy with it. And I don't give anyone anything I'm not happy with. So it's just something. So, but it looks like these Lord of the Rings models have it, so we should be good. All right, and we're just gonna add in a little bit more detail here. We overpainted a little bit with the wildwood and then wiped it away, so we're just gonna add that back in. And we're gonna reestablish a little bit more. I know we already did that on this model, but we're just going to go in and more precisely add a little bit more of a highlight from our base coat. Let's throw a little bit of white in here, over here on the side, for an even brighter shade. Make sure when we paint it, it's just actually green. Yeah, there we go. Same thing, going through, super detailed now. There we go. Like that. Just getting the very tips, the very tiniest of lines here. We don't want him to look like he put sunscreen on to go to the beach. There we go. Okay, there we go. Grab a different brush for this part. Come on. Oh, I love the brush protectors on a lot of these brushes, but sometimes they're quite a dickens to get off. That's what your mother said this night, Trebek. Alright, so like I said, we paint on shaky hand days and unshaky hand days. So we're gonna paint. It's still a little dry, it's still a little too wet. So I like to test paints on the back of my hand when I'm concerned about the level of moisture in the actual paint. And if it seeps into the cracks and stuff in my hand, I know it's not exactly the right consistency for what I'm trying to do here. Alright, just a dot. And we'll try this again. Yeah, now we're doing good. And we are just going to add in the pupils here. There we go. That's done and dusted, and we're just going to use the same super detailed brush. We're going to touch up the eye a little bit. There we go. Cool. And now we have our face done. I usually don't do an iris on something that. So this is I think these are 32mm scales. With the squinty eyes and stuff, it's not gonna look good. So we're not gonna do that. Um, yeah, at least okay. I might do it, but there's no way I'm gonna do it with my hands as shaky as they are right now. So we'll skip that part for now, and we're gonna move on to the metallic bits. For that, we're going to need some plate mail and some shining silver. So these two will be our highlight and shadow, irrespectively. So plate mail are shadows, and shining silver just used as an edge highlighter and stuff. Here's our plate mail. We have our shining silver over here. So plate mail, get a little bit on our brush here. So this is what I mentioned these earlier, metallic paints. They actually have the metal mica flakes in them, so they are super easy ways to do metallics. You don't have to stress about them. They look metallic because they have metal in them. Normally I would do the wrapping on the sword in a different material, but given that it's a goblin, I just figured a solid metal hunk with a hilt would make more sense. They don't really have sophisticated methods for smelting or crafting, anything like that, so. Same with the pick. I just realized we got 6 guys with picks here. Sorry, 6, yeah, 6 guys with picks. That's a lot of, they can get a lot of digging done. Alrighty. Yeah, this is definitely not my normal music. But that's alright. That's alright. I think this is all super small rock band artists that don't have royalties on their music, which is exactly what I need. So here we go. I might just grab my own ICO music and credit them in the description or something, and just play the playlist directly from my computer. That's probably what I'm going to need to end up doing. But I'm currently lying to myself about it. I usually save them like metal for weapons and armor, stuff for the end models, just because it's usually really easy to get to it. It's usually right there. It's a nice, easy, calm way to finish the model. Okay. So just a quick side by side. I'm gonna give my hands a quick break here. Ow. Arthritis, guys. Don't do it. All right. So here's where we currently stand on this model. The only thing left to do is hit the metal with a wash and a little bit of a rust effect and give it some highlights. So this is where we started. This is where we're finishing, sorry. Those goblins. And here's where we started. So Greg, if you are happy with this work, shoot me a text. Let me know. that if this works for you, if it doesn't, because I think the guy whose commission this is for was watching the stream. And you guys in the comments, let me know what you think. I'm really happy with this so far. I'm really happy with the work in general. These guys have been a great batch of fun. Today's the first day of the commission though, so I'm still trying to like feel out how the models worked. I've never painted these before. Oh, and then so the rest of the stream tonight, we're probably going to get started on the next one, but we got the base coat down on all five of these guys. For the rest of tonight's stream, we're going to start working on the next one, and I'll probably do the basing. I want to do something really, really cool for the basing, just because this was such a cool guy that this job is for. I want to do something really fun and special for it, because, again, I've been really slow lately, and he really helped make me feel good about myself. So clean up this real quick. I'm going to take 10, going to eat a taco, drink some tea, and I will be back with you guys here in just a bit. Don't go anywhere, or if you go anywhere, have a great rest of your night, and thank you so much for joining me. But I'll be back in 10. Now I gotta figure out how to do the thing with the thing. If anyone's watching that is a fellow streamer, please explain the countdown screens to me, for the love of God. I'm having so much trouble with mine. Okay, but in the meantime, thank you all very much. Alrighty, everybody. So I can't figure out the overlays, and I'm having a lot of issues. So what we're gonna do is, and so I'm just having a lot of issues with my stream. Sorry, I'm still new at this. I'm just gonna turn off my face camera while I stuff some food in my face. Enjoy the music. All right, we're back. All right, so I was thinking about stuff while I was eating my food. I'm actually gonna pop offline, and I'm gonna continue painting not these goblins, but something else, Lord of the Rings tomorrow. I got some other stuff I gotta do around the house here, and it keeps popping into my head, and I keep thinking, oh, I need to be doing this and that and the other, and it's not really fair to be doing all this while distracted. So I'm gonna pop offline for tonight. I want to thank everybody that joined. For real, like you guys have no idea how much it means to me. It's so killer that you watch my stuff. Social medias. Follow me on the Twitch and then the Good Enough Painting on YouTube. Help me hit the subscriber goals. Get some really cool videos. Try and do monthly diorama themed ones, and then this month's I'm running a little bit behind. I keep flitting around between 3 different projects, so that one might be towards the beginning of next month. But the next month I already have that one planned. And you can see all the live streams there. Come up and join me with me on Fridays. We are painting literally every entry in the Dungeons and Dragons manual, which is 400 something in 5e. So we're going through there. We're still in the A's, but we're getting close to done with them. This week is the Azure and something else with an A. I gotta figure it out. Abominable Snowman or Anak. Tyrannosaurus. Maybe that one. One of those two. So we're going to be doing that this Friday. So come join me there. It's tons of fun. Besides that, thank you very much. And you have no idea how much this means to me again. You guys are all awesome for watching and awesome for every little thing that you do. I hope that this is a nice chill time in your week that you can use to just relax and not listen to rock music. Sorry, everybody. I say relax as like rock music is playing. Hopefully, just get a little bit of dose of positivity and just good, wholesome fun in your week. So, thank you all so very much. I hope you have a phenomenal rest of your day and rest of your evening. And thanks. Thank you so much.